Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. This is appearing on the main channel. We have a secondary channel, Dr. Mumbi's Spiritual Show. Make sure you subscribe to both. We've revived the main channel to kind of go into looking at what's happening in Kenya, what's happening in East Africa, because as I told you, Kenya, I mean, everyone's been saying it, Kenya is the seat of revival. Revival has come, revival is unfolding. And so we want to just keep an eye on everything that's happening and bring you not all the news, but the news that is kind of relevant to the revival. And a lot of you have been asking me, am I sure that Ruto is the man of the hour? That's the president that just came in, for those of you guys who are not from Kenya. And, you know, I'm sure he's not, because he's done some very controversial things that don't make him look like he's really for the people. And, you know, some saying he's using the whole Trump vibe, where, you know, how Trump got preyed on by all those evangelicals, allowed the evangelicals to come into the White House and pray about, but many questioned his faith. The one thing I know, family, is that the Kenyan church has really stretched its neck on this one. They all out picked a side, they prayed, and then hundreds of them were invited for a Thanksgiving service and even told to now, you know, bless State House, remove the previous altars because the new residents had arrived, which is the evangelicals. And I did a show on how the evangelicals now rule Kenya. And what I've seen, family, if we look beyond, all this stuff, is that the evangelical community and the church has really exposed themselves on this one. Because, you know, whether the president of any nation is a Christian, a Muslim, whether he wants to be for his people, against his people, whether he has his little club of friends who he's going to be working with, it doesn't matter. It's still a neocolonial system. And there's still many limitations that come with being in that neocolonial system unless you're going to be one of the brave ones to transition us into an African-based political system, which is more about everyone being, you know, consensus reality, where everyone agrees. And that process takes way much longer. Like some of our meetings as the Agikoyo Nation used to take months, if not years, for the major decisions about whether to expand the territory, whether to invade here or whatever. It took years for everyone to come on board. It wasn't like 80% of the people have agreed, so we're going to move forward. No, they waited until the considerations of the 20% had been taken in. So I think regardless of what pure intentions any president who's coming into any government in Africa has, they are inheriting a neocolonial system. They're coming into a neocolonial order, and they realize that quick, fast when they get in. And so for the church, I'm hoping they're not as naive as they're looking, to be aware that the Masons run the governments, and there's secret societies in every country, Luciferians who are running this thing. That for them to go out and really support a candidate is really sticking out their necks. And for me, I really feel this could go two ways. The way I see it going is that, you know, certain things will happen in this government that could bring down the church. Because you see, if corruption is exposed within this government, if we find out that this government is supporting wash guys, if we find out that the divided states is actually the one who's controlling this government and our government are puppets, if we find, you know, if too many things start going against the people, if too many laws and policies start going against the people, if the president takes on more of a, wants to extend his term, all of this is going to be seen as the church is doing, because this is the church's candidate. And so they've really stuck out their necks. And so the next 5 years is not so much about, Ruto's government, as it is a test of the church. Because just like they prayed that he would enter government, they'd best be praying that he will make the best decisions for the people. Especially because it recently emerged that they'd even signed an MOU between the church and the government. I wonder if there was anything about truth, transparency, honesty, putting the Kenyan people first, protecting, the reproductive rights, the food security rights of our people, not bowing to the Babylon system. I wonder if that was in the MOU. Otherwise, what does that even make sense? And so what we will witness is either the church will be able to pull this off and somehow make this the most prosperous season for Kenya, and somehow use their prayers and their speaking in tongues to shield the president from the neo-colonial jackals, be it Russia, be it the divided states, be it the divided kingdom, all these people who have been controlling us for so long, be it China, because as you heard from our president, we're debt slaves, or they'll fail and he'll bow, and it will really, really cause a big dent in our people, but it will lead to a massive awakening. Because you see, it's not about the charades that are being played here. This is a theater, family. This is a game that it shouldn't be taking too much of your energy, because it's a charades from a book that is closing out. This is not how we're going to be running governments in the future. This is not how our leaders are going to be operating, at the mercy of Babylon. Like, help us. What money do you have for us? Like, you get elected before you even go to your people, you're going to Babylon. This isn't how we're going to be doing it. So it's more about, as I keep saying, every man preparing himself spiritually so that we can bring in a new reality physically. But we're either witnessing the beginning of the end of the church or a brand new beginning for Kenya. And the ball is still out. The judgment, how do they say? The court is still out, whatever that term is. And this is a word of caution to the evangelicals and the church. You're now. The spotlight is on you. Because the Most High is using everything, every situation, every scenario to ensure that on the day of our visitation, Kenya will be ready. Some major altars have been brought down by the evangelicals. But that's just the beginning, and they've now set up even their own altar in State House. But that's just the beginning, family. Will they be able to navigate the perilous times that are upon us, especially in 2023? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next time, tuko pamoja.